Hi friends, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and we are going to do a video talking about, like, expired things in the kitchen, I suppose, okay? If you're not going to eat them, you can still use them for witchcraft, and I want to talk about something in particular, a situation that happened just this morning. And this is a Patreon only video because it's workings, right? I'm only doing my workings on Patreon. I'll give suggestions, I'll give advice on YouTube, I'll give some ideas, but I'm not showing my workings. I wrote some workings this morning. I wrote them on a whim. These will definitely go in a book. I don't know if they'll go, well, they won't go in the book because corn doesn't come up. But Mom got this big jug of, she tried hard, you know, non-GMO, naturally grown Orville Redenbacher's, just the popcorn. There's no butter on it or anything. It's just popped corn. You know, corn that's meant to pop. So it's dried corn. Corn kernels, right? So let's talk about this for a little bit. The best by date, it expired this last June. Technically, it shouldn't taste bad, but she popped this and she said it tasted bad. So some of these things, they will, especially if they're non-GMO, expire quicker, you know, because there's not preservatives on them to keep them good forever. So I said, Mom, not that you're gonna throw it out, but don't throw it out, because I will use this. And I will come up with an idea for it, and it will be a perfect working idea. Okay, so what are we going to do with this big jug of Orville Redenbacher's? Well, normally I would say grab this book and figure out what you could do with it. Alright, but that's if you don't trust in your intuition. Before I opened this book, and yes, I've read corn before, but no, I don't remember all of its properties. Because I work with so many different herbs and spices, I hope to one day memorize all their properties. But until I get my flashcards set out with that and to remember it, I'm not going to remember it, you know. But, you know, if you use something a lot for something, you will remember it over time. Anyway, before I opened this book, before I opened it to page 91 is where you'll find corn, I said no. And this is what I do to trust my intuition, okay? I go, think of some workings, you know, think of this and what it does. You know, what does it do when you put it in the microwave? It pops, it explodes. Okay, so I'm just going to read to you from my paper of what I've written out. Use your intuition first, okay? So before you open the book, think of your own ideas. And then read from the book. And then see how you were, like, right on some things, which is really cool. So I'm going to explain that to you now. So my first idea, just based on my intuition, was corn dried and prepared this way is meant to be popped. And then add all the branding and the stickers saying popcorn and the directions on the back saying how to pop it. This corn's destiny was meant to be popped corn. So a big burial sack, which is like a paper sack, I do burial sacks, fill this halfway up with corn and bury it into a burial sack. Just the corn, just like this, not popped or anything. If we were to put that in the ground, it would, in a sense, crush the corn's destiny, because this corn was meant to be popped corn. It was branded. It's been in this jar for 3 years or so, or maybe more, because the expiration, you'd think corn would last forever. Its destiny has been that since it's been dried, okay? It was dried to be this. So, if you want to destroy someone's destiny, and that doesn't sound very nice, but listen, this working can be used to keep someone down who is pompous, rude, gets anything that they want and don't try for it, and are unkind to you. Remember, you have to have justification. Like, honestly, if you just see somebody who's a prick in the world, but they're not affecting you, should you do a working against them? I guess if it bothers you that much, maybe, but they're not directing anything toward you. If you can justify it in your heart, go for it. But for me, that's not one I can justify. But if they're being unkind to you and they're pompous, rude, get everything they want, whatever, you could take a paper sack, just like this, because this is biodegradable. It's just a brown paper lunch sack, and it will bind with the earth. If we bury this corn instead of popping it, we are destroying its destiny. We're destroying the thing it was branded to do since the minute that it was prepared, okay? So in that effect, Inside of the bag with the corn unpopped, you can also put a petition stating what you want, and then make a sigil out of the words of that petition and write the sigil on the outside of the bag. I have videos on how to make sigils. They're on YouTube. Go check them out. A petition is just stating exactly what you want. As you bury the sack, you could put in other things that slip people up, like banana peels. Dried banana peels I use to slip people up in workings. So this is a very interesting working, but I thought, we're destroying the destiny if we put it into a burial sack. And I don't necessarily know, because you know how if birds eat rice, it expands inside of them and explodes? I don't think the popcorn would explode because it needs heat, but what if it expanded and then the bird got sick? So I don't know if you could trust this with a working where it wasn't buried. You should do your research on that one. Number 2, my intuition idea for this popcorn was, did you know if you put a plain dry popcorn just like this inside of a paper bag and microwave it, it pops? Yeah, so if you take 1 cup of popcorn and put it in one of these lunch sacks and then twirl it shut so that the steam stays inside, you'll get a bag of popcorn. Okay, this is probably how you got those bags when you were a little kid at elementary school. They got a big one of these and then hid them all through the microwave. I don't know, maybe at a popcorn maker. We didn't. So anyway, so it explodes with pressure. So when it's in this bag and in the microwave, it explodes with pressure. We're not even going to go into the whole radiation thing. You could do this to radiate somebody, obviously. I just thought of 2 intuitive workings. If you want to radiate somebody... So we're going to do it the same way. We're going to put the petition, which is a little piece of paper, right inside the bag with the popped corn. Okay? And then that popcorn is going to pop and explode all around that petition, bursting energy all over it and around it. And you have the sigil of the petition on the outside. Why would we want to explode something with pressure, though? What kind of working would that be? Well, anything you want to explode can be used here. Example, I want a new job and I need my job search to be big and fertile and explode around me. Put a petition inside of here that says, Jennifer has so many job options, she can't even choose which one is best. And then make a sigil, again, see the sigil video if you don't know how to make one, and put the sigil on the front. While it's in the microwave, it's turning around, it's popping, that sigil's moving, your petition, all that energy is exploding around the petition. Another petition that you might write, or another reason why you might do this microwave popcorn sigil petition bag, would be, are you keeping a secret for someone and it's killing you, as it's very stressful to do that? You want the person to tell the truth so that you can be free of the secret. This has been a big one for me in my life so many times, and I wish I would have thought of this working 20, 30 years ago. Yeah, since I was 7 years old, I've been keeping secrets for people, or earlier. So, having that energy explode, and maybe the petition inside says, Danielle finally tells Joey that she cheated on him, and I don't have to keep this secret around Joey anymore. And then you make a sigil of that and put it on the outside. These, I don't know Danielle or Joey, I'm just making up these names. I have real names for the people, though. Anyway, you could do something like that. Now, for a giant explosion, so we've talked about a burial sack, we've talked about a microwave sack for energy bursts and explosions around your petition. Now let's talk about the biggest burst of energy. Have you guys ever been around a campfire and thrown dried corn into a fire? It explodes and shoots kind of back out of the fire. It's really kind of fun and cool and awesome. We used to do it just for fun as kids. Like, you know, it's kind of like having poppets, but a lot more dangerous because, like, a burning piece of fire could shoot out. Because it pops inside the fire and then it kind of, like, shoots back out if it popped, and it can, like, become a flaming ball. So now listen, this is dangerous. This should not be done in dry woods. This should be done when it's wet outside. Okay, when it's been raining, so this is a great time of year for that in most areas. Never do this in the summer in a dry, dusty area. Do not do it. So for a giant explosion, throw it directly into like a big campfire where it's been wet outside, or into your cauldron outdoors where it's been wet outside. Okay, so if you don't want to build a big campfire, if you have a cauldron that's nice and large, or even a small one might be weird because you might throw it in and miss, but if you have enough popcorn, it doesn't matter if you miss, does it? So these are just some ideas, and as you're throwing that popcorn onto the fire, just go ahead and state your petition, because you can't put it into a bag. You can't, but you could put a little black Sharpie dot on each popcorn and have your intent on there, or maybe red or whatever color you're working with. Yeah, there's another fourth working, or a fourth extended part to, or another extended part to that third working, is if you're throwing this directly onto a fire, right here, here's some kernels that we're looking at, okay? Take a kernel and take your issue and direct it to color magic. See all my color magic videos, like red is love and black is banishing, and you know, you could do a bunch of different things. Take that color of a Sharpie and put the dot on the piece of corn and say, this red represents my love for da-da-da, I hope it explodes, and throw it at the fire, right? Or this green represents my money and I hope that not I hope. Say it in law of attraction always. This green represents my money exploding around me and abundance all around me. So mote it be as you throw it. You know, these are all just ideas, but you guys get it. This is the intuitive stuff. The video could be over right now, but now I'm going to read from Scott Cunningham's book, okay? We're reading the points in the green book when he talks about corn. Corn, the gender is female, the planet is Venus. Element is earth, so it makes so much sense for a burial sack, doesn't it? Burying it into that earth element of corn. Powers are protection, luck, and divination. So after reading that, I wrote down so you could add the corn dried to your protection sands, or to make a perimeter around a room, home, or space to protect it temporarily. If you put it around your home, the wind could blow it away. It's not like a water or dirt or a sand where it stays and binds with the earth. But you could make a temporary circle of corn around some, like a working you were doing to protect it, or to add luck or divination qualities to it. Maybe you could put a little corn around your tarot cards, or you could lay your corn in a bowl. You could lay your tarot cards in a bowl of dried corn to really get that divination vibe resonating. Say you have a lucky amulet, lay it in a bowl of dried corn, because the powers of corn are protection, luck, and divination. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, corn comes up on page 91 of this book. And thank you, Scott Cunningham, for all you do. Thank you, you guys, my patrons, for all you do, because you are my income, and I'm really trying to grow this, and you're helping me. So I appreciate it so much, more than you know. More videos every day on random things that you can just find that would have otherwise been garbage, yeah? Alright, have a beautiful day, you guys. That's not to say that you couldn't go out and buy this just for all these intents. Of course you can. Of course you can, but go to the bulk bins and get organic. It's going to be cheaper than this, I promise you. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Kiss, kiss, ta. Bye-bye.